Who's ready for another unhinged client story? There have only been a handful of times that I've ever had to call the cops in my career. This is one of them. Let's call this client Erica. Thank you, Erica, for letting me use your name from the last video. I also need a guy, so let's name the guy Aiden. Okay, so Erica books a session with me and she comes in for her shoot. There is a rule that I have, and a lot of people know this. If they know me and watch my content, they know that I do not allow guests in my studio at any time other than if they were to warn me that they were like, oh, my boyfriend or my partner or mom or sister or whoever wants to just come up, make sure I'm safe, make sure everything's legit, and then, of course they'll leave after hair and makeup begins and stuff like that. So then they're not hanging out. Normally people will warn me if that happens. It doesn't happen often because, I am, someone who puts her life out in social media, so people know that I am legit and I'm not gonna psychopath killer people. So anyway, Erica never warned me that she was gonna bring anyone, so I was not expecting anyone to show up. But her shoot comes, she shows up, the elevator pops up, and then the elevator doors open, and I see Erica, and then I see a guy, and he comes out with her, and so I'm thinking, he must be lost. So then I kind of put my hands up and I'm like, hi, Erica. And then I look at him and I'm like, hi, either you're lost or do you know each other? Or I just was trying to feel out the situation. He was very stern. He was not no smile, nothing and he was just yeah, I'm Aiden. I'm her boyfriend. So hi. And I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. I just wasn't expecting you. I wasn't warned that you would be here. So, hi, are you just here to kind of drop her off, check out the place? What's going on? And he again, stern, and has his arms folded in front of him, just pissed off looking. And he's just I'm here to support my girlfriend. That's why I'm here. I'm like, okay, sir, sorry, shit, I was just asking. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. So are you gonna hang out? So we have there's a lobby downstairs that people can hang out at if they wanted to. I'm like, so are you gonna hang out at the lobby? Are you gonna go get a coffee while, and hang out at the coffee shop or something when Erica's in hair and makeup? What's the plan? And he said, no, I'm not. I'm here to support my girlfriend. I am here. And he was just so mad and angry. And I was like, Jesus. I'm like, okay. So I look at Erica and I'm like, okay, so, as a reminder, it says in their contract and everything that, we do not allow guests in the studio at any time other than if you're going to just come check it out for a second. But any guests will need to leave at the point of hair and makeup beginning, which is basically we say hi, we let you go to the bathroom, we get you some water, and we start you in hair and makeup. So it's really fast. So he then kind of, I don't want to say he got in my face because he definitely didn't. I'm not gonna be dramatic here. He didn't get in my face, but he definitely leaned forward and was like, I'm not leaving. Stop trying to get me to leave. And I'm like, oh, we're one of those. Okay. So then I was like, okay, Aiden, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but there is no universe in which you are staying. That is a hard rule for us. We do not have any guests in the studio at any time. That is just a hard rule. So either you here, and I basically cause he was he was just stern and angry. So I kind of just was I need to match that energy. So I said, here are your options. Number one, you hang out in the lobby downstairs so you are only one floor away from your girlfriend. Number two, there's a coffee shop around the corner. You are free to go there and hang out, and we will text you when we are done. Number three, if that does not make you comfortable, you guys are both free to leave, but you will not be getting a refund and you will owe a same-day cancellation fee. And Erica just this whole time she doesn't say anything, but she does this and she kind of looks up at him and she's basically asking with her eyes, what do you think we should do? And I'm then I threw in there if this is a safety concern, I'm here, you can see the team, we're all women here, you would be one floor away. It's not we're gonna psycho killer your girlfriend and somehow get away with it because you're one floor below us. I don't know what you're expecting or why, you're so nervous about this. But it also threw off my red flags thinking, I wonder if this is an abusive relationship and she's being kind of controlled or whatever. My head always does go there because I was also in an abusive and manipulative relationship for a long time. So I watched for the signs, but there was something that was off about it, and it didn't, hard to explain, but it didn't necessarily seem like all of the signs were there for an abusive relationship. So I wasn't sure. But anyway, he again goes, continue with the shoot. I will be right here. I will stay out of the way. And I'm like, Aiden, one more time, that is not how this works, and you don't get to dictate what rules you want to break and what you don't want to break. That's not how this works. So I said, I will give you guys one more chance, or I'm going to give you a moment. I didn't say one chance. I said, I'll give you guys a moment. I'm going to back away for a second. You guys talk amongst yourselves, figure out what you want to do, and I'll come back in a minute. So they do that, they talk or whatever. And then I come back up and I'm like, hey, so did we come to a conclusion? Do we know what we want to do? Then Erica said, we are absolutely not leaving and you are doing my shoot. And I was like, that didn't answer any question that I asked whatsoever. So then I said, okay, no problem. So Aiden, where are you going to hang out? Or what are you going to do? And both of them were like, he's not leaving. Stop trying to get him to leave. I want him here. And I'm like, I don't care how much you want him here. It's a rule. You knew this rule beforehand, before you even booked. I talked about this before you even book. And this is something that I talk about on social media all the time too. So it's not happening, period, the end. Figure out something else. So then this is where it gets really wild, because I was like at my wit's end at this point. I'm like, how many times do I have to explain this? But anyway, Aiden literally walks over to one of the chairs that are in one of my sets and sits down and plants himself there. I'm like, get your ass up. What the fuck? Who the fuck do you think you are? And he goes, I'll be right here. And I'm like, the hell you will. Like, no fucking way. No, sir. So I went over to him. I'm like, Aiden, I hate to be this person, and I don't ever want it to get to this point. But at this point, you are making this so uncomfortable for us and my team. Now I feel like we are kind of, I didn't say in danger, but I was like, we are starting to feel a little uncomfortable. So at this point, I'm going to ask both of you to leave. And if you don't leave, I'm going to have to call the cops. This is where the wild thing happens. And I don't get why do people think like this? And why I would be mortified if I acted like this. Erica then goes over to Aiden, sits on his lap, and then refuses to move. Would you not be mortified that you're acting like a child? So I said, okay, no problem, you guys. Hang tight. I'm going to call the police. He literally told me, okay, yeah, go call the police. That's like what they did. And they just sat there, like standing their ground. And I'm like, whatever, you are now trespassing onto my property. So I called the cops. And if you know anything about Santa Ana cops, they get there pretty freaking fast. If it's like anything with having to do, that's like more than just like homeless people on the street and stuff like that. So, oh my God, this guy almost just hit my car. Sorry, that was wild. Anyway, the cop got there really fast. And then the second the cop arrived, Aiden looks at me, he goes, you called the cops? And I'm like, you're fucking kidding me, right? Anyway, the cops said, do you want to press charges? And I'm like, no, I don't want to press charges. I just want them off my property. I just want them gone. And like, that's really all I want. So they escorted them off the property, and that was the entire thing. And I did charge her the same day cancellation fee. And it declined at first because they didn't have a credit card on file, which now we require, but this is the time where I didn't require that. And so it declined, but then I messaged her and I said, if you do not pay this same day cancellation fee, I will be suing you as well. She paid within the hours, so. But bitch, do not think you're gonna break my rules, stand your ground, and think that there's not gonna be consequences. That's not how this